So here we go.
You suck at pre-records.
Thanks for putting that little seed in my brain. I didn't even start and you already called me out. Man, I can't take this motherfucker nowhere. Anyway, welcome back to the Unframe of Mind show, where we have uncomfortable conversations without a condom. I'm your host, Daniel Wagner.
Hey, Anthony Trewick.
And that is going to be much smoother. See what I just did? You got it in my head, man. You got it in my head. Anyway, so I'm sitting there like any good American, scrolling through TikTok mindlessly, in the middle of the night while I'm supposed to be sleeping for the next day. And this video pops up on my For You page. It's this gentleman by the name of, he calls himself Ill Whisper. And I started listening to what he was doing. It was a rap battle I found. And I was like, holy shit, this dude, like, holy crap. So I go in and I look at his profile. I'm like, oh, he's got like 9 or 10 videos, not a lot. So I watched every single one of them, and I was like, dang, this guy got some skills. And I was like,
then you sent me a link.
So I sent it to Anthony. I'm like, listen, we got to have this guy on the show. I don't know why. I honestly, even now, I have no idea why. I just had a gut feeling that this would be an awesome conversation. And I was like, so I hit Ill up and I said, hey, what do you think? And he's like, bet, let's do it. Let's have a show. We schedule it. Here we are.
Roll the intro.
I'm going to roll the intro. We'll introduce you to our guest, and I hope you guys are as floored with this guy's talent as I am. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You're listening to Unframe of Mind Show, the place to have the most mind-stretching, unprotected, intellectual intercourse of your life. Your hosts battle the forces of evil by lobbing fiery balls of truth, reason, and evidence over safe room walls.
All right, and welcome back.
Welcome
back. I would like to introduce our guest, Ill Whisper.
Ill, how you doing?
Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great, y'all. How y'all doing?
Man.
Here another day.
And like I said in the intro there, I really honestly, Anthony kept asking me, why are we having this guy on? What's the angle here? How does this fit? I don't know. I couldn't give him any answers. There's just a gut feeling, like you seem like a cool dude. I'm hearing what you're saying. And I just wanted to get you on to kind of get a little bit more information about you and just get to know you in general.
You know what's interesting, though, is we've become now known for doing music reactions of other, rappers or hip-hop artists, and now we're actually having one on,
Right.
So this is a nice little transition for us to actually talk to somebody that's kind of in that genre of music. So
talk to me, man. Tell me about this video that popped up all of a sudden. Why was it even in my feed?
So, honestly, I don't know how it got there. It kind of just got a lot of views really quickly out of nowhere, and honestly, I didn't really expect it to even got where it's gotten already. So this was on my second rap battle that I've done since January, and I just started in January, and it was just this little section of rhymes that I had done that was very. I felt very technical, and I felt like it would have been a different approach in a rap battle to show someone how technical you can be rather than focus on your typical, here's your punchline, and here's me talking about the guns and stuff. It was more like a poetry kind of.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and play that clip real quick for folks so they can get a sense of what I'm even talking about here. And then, and then we'll go from there.
Rubber mats around the drain in the middle. Your date of death was set in stone the day they made this official, but let me help you understand this more by making it simple. You see, when you and I come to the time our rounds conclude and you rewind, and view the times your clueless lines were used to try to prove that I'm too new to climb this soon, but too inclined for you to scrutinize, so you disguise the truth to find I'm too refined to move aside. So utilize the tools your mind can use for you to euthanize. I've proven time and time that I'm a threat that you can supervise. I'll brutalize your stupid rhymes. Best you can do is lose with pride, but when it comes to do or die, they're used to trying suicide. But y'all done showed this fucking world.
When it
now
comes
the
to
question,
do or die, they used to try.
wow. Rubber mats around the drain.
Like, damn, man. Like, for real, that's badass. And you came up with that just on the fly.
So not necessarily. So certain parts of it I'd thought of at different times.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, I thought of it. I wanted to show off how technical you could be in a battle if you wanted to be, rather than try to get the crowd's reaction and show that there's a different side of it. So as I was writing it, I noticed that I had a lot of rhymes that matched with the you and I vowel sound. So like I started it with you and I just to give everybody an example of that's the vowels that I'm using. So I said, when you and I come to the time, our rounds conclude, and you rewind, and then I started doing it back to back. The hardest part was keeping that going in such a tight consistency to where it was like I'm trying to show you, in the opposition of what I said at the beginning, that, I'm trying to keep it simple for you. So that's just kind of how I approached it. I was trying to show him more of a skill side of it in that rhyme scheme.
Man, that's one thing I've never, like, I can't wrap my mind around this. And it's just, I know people's minds work on different frequencies and wavelengths and speeds, obviously. I'm the guy that has trouble. Like, if I start thinking too far ahead, my mouth can't keep up, and I start, completely losing.
Kind of fumbling over your words.
Yeah,
I
start fumbling over the words, and I can't get the thought out, and I'm just like, because my mind goes like way over here, and I'm still like, my mouth's like, hey, wait. Like, I remember working at Wendy's years ago. This is my first job, and there was a guy that worked there that was he did the free flow kind of just off the top of his head. And I'm like. And I didn't believe him because he'd just be saying this stuff, and I'm like, I don't believe you. All right, here. I said, all right, do a rap about, and I picked the three most random objects. I'm like, there's no way in hell this guy has a rhyme prepared for this subject. It was like ketchup and kittens and like some other I don't even remember what it was. And I'll be damned if like just right there on the spot he comes up with some shit, and I'm like, how do. I don't know. I'm fascinated with how your brain works to do that. Like, what's going on in there when you're thinking this stuff?
The mind of a rapper, it just kind of works differently. Once you start to get in the habit of trying to rhyme literally everything that you run into. So you'll go about your day and find a word that somehow just interests you in a certain way. That you'll hear someone say something, you'll be like, that'd be interesting to, incorporate into what I'm using. So you almost treat it like a challenge. So as you go throughout the day, you'll literally hear a word and you'll be like, I wonder what I could rhyme with that. It doesn't matter how many syllables that word may be. It don't matter how I may use it. It's just, let me see what I can rhyme with it. And then you almost kind of build a list. So it's even though like, it's almost like you're subconsciously practicing, even though you're not meaning to. So that's kind of how your mind just works about it. Like, I've been rapping for about 10 years.
Oh,
and it's slow.
Okay.
So that's not kind of going. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you're saying okay. That does make sense. So it's kind of like as you practice, it's like it's a thing that you just continuously do, and it's a muscle that you build over time that you're able to fine tune and make stronger. Is that more accurate way of describing it?
Absolutely, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So let's kind of take it back 10 years ago. How did you get introduced to rap or even rap? Like, how long have you been doing the rap battles for? Let's start there first.
So, like I said, even though I've been rapping for 10 years, I've kind of just gone public with it at the beginning of this year.
Okay.
So like I said, I've kind of just built on my craft, and I've released music here and there over the years. But as far as watching battles, I've watched it longer than I've been writing. So probably about 2010, I started watching battles.
Okay.
Like I said, in 2011, I started writing myself. Like I said, so that's kind of just how I got into that. Like I said, just listening to music. There's a lot of artists that I listened to growing up, both from the old era and the new era, that I kind of just get my influences from. And then battle rap alone, the competitive nature, I've always just kind of wrote competitive. So I feel like it was a perfect fit.
So I've got to ask you this. So we've all seen the movie 8 Mile with Eminem, right? And
yes.
you know that scene where he gets nervous and he's on stage. It's his first time doing a rap battle. Did you have something similar like that happen to you where you were nervous and were afraid that things weren't going to go well? Just kind of walk through that whole experience.
Okay, so I've had 5 battles since January.
Okay.
And it's kind of been a weird road since I started, because my first battle, it went pretty good for my first battle. Second battle is from the clip you saw, and it went pretty well. I had a few stumbles, but it was almost because the crowd was having time to react, and I kept slipping up.
Oh yeah.
So and then my third battle, I had booked 2 weeks after that battle. So like I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare for that battle. My fourth battle was a 2-on-2 battle, which is very hard to do, especially when you're just now starting like I am.
Right.
And then my most recent battle was on a larger stage. And So that's where it got a little tricky, because basically, like, here's how it went. It wasn't always it's not. I feel like it's not always your first battle where you're gonna have that stumble, or you're gonna have that kind of mess up that you usually run into. But there's different elements that take place. Like, I went from before January thinking that the only thing that mattered was what I said. But then you go to these stages where it matters how loud you say it, how you say it, the manner in which you go about saying it, what you do while you're saying it.
Yeah. The body language and everything.
Exactly.
It's
So there's a lot
element.
more elements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There's a lot more elements.
You don't even think about that, but yeah, I do remember seeing one of them where you kind of got like right up in the guy's face, and you were like real close to him, and the crowd, like that would throw me off. I could see sitting
You're
at my
psyching them out, man.
Yeah, like sitting at my house, like just trying to come up with these rhymes or whatever is one thing, but then when you're in front of an audience that's reacting to what you're saying, and I did notice even in that clip, like the dude just repeats your line right after you said it, and you're just like, okay, I guess you're talking now.
Oh no, I mean, honestly, like,
It was a good line though. It was a good line.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I love that he reacted to it, and I love that he enjoyed it. But me being so new, it just kind of gave me like a moment where I stumbled. I was like, okay, what did I just say? So that's just kind of the rookie and coming out. But at the same time, I got to learn to adapt to, the hecklers and stuff that may be in the crowd, or the people who may be reacting. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. I'm glad he enjoyed it.
So you had mentioned that you've kind of been in this in the music scene for the last 10 years. How old are you now?
I'm 24 years old.
Wow. So you started off kind of early then.
Yeah, I started when I was 14. Like I said, I'd probably been watching a year or two before I started writing myself. So I've been into it for a long time.
Nice.
I'm just curious, over 10 years, like why now? What changed in January that made you decide that I'm ready? This is
Good question.
This is the time to get out there.
For sure. When I started writing just before my freshman year of high school. And when I went to high school, I kind of had that social nature to which I could actually share my talent with people. I could show people that I rap. Hey, I made music. I made a beat here. I made some instrumentals that I rapped over if you guys would like to hear it. So I kind of had that small little platform of kind of getting my, opening up and showing myself, that, I rap. So after high school, I said, life just hit me, so you got to get a job, start working, pay the bills, all that.
Man, tell me about it.
Yeah, not that it necessarily stopped me from doing what I was doing. I said it just hindered a little bit, and I didn't have as much time for it. But I always knew I wanted to do it. So I kind of just took the years after high school to kind of build upon my craft, because I knew that battle rap was something I always may have wanted to, kind of dabble in here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'd watched it forever. So I looked up a league that was nearby in Atlanta, and like I said, in January, I decided to actually, get in front of a crowd of people and actually do it. So it was weird when I did, and I got the reaction that I did, because like I said, I basically had no one react to my stuff for about 5 years, and this TikTok thing happened.
Right. So nobody's
like I said,
nobody's heard of you, and then all of a sudden you're out here doing a rap battle, and the audience is like eating it up. Basically, is that fair assessment?
Exactly. Yeah. So that was surreal to me. So I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't feel like I quite got what I'm looking for though. I'm more curious about the moment. Like, what was the moment for you when you decided, like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Like, what made you decide to actually take the step versus just I know you go along thinking about maybe doing it, like I want to eventually, but something must have
kind of that
happened,
trigger was pulled.
Yeah, like I guess was there something like that for you that made you decide?
Well, like I said, I'd always known that I want to do it, and then like I said, when real life got a hold of me, I just got so tired of not. Basically, I knew how to do this, but I was doing absolutely nothing with it. Like I said, so I was writing, and I never put it on a song, because by the time I could have the time to write a song, I had to, get caught back up with something in life or something like that. So like I said, it just got to the point where I had a bunch of material. I wasn't doing anything with it, and I was practicing all the time, because like I said, when you get that mindset of a rapper, you're always trying to rhyme something, so you're always technically practicing. Like I said, so I was just doing I was just basically writing with no purpose. I was making beats, to only halfway get through them and stuff. But I was like, I got all this material, I got this skill, and if I kind of forced myself to do this, then I would get in the habit of doing it more. My fiance kind of helped me. She convinced me to, get into the battle rap league because she knows that I watched it too. So it was just kind of like I needed a push from a few people, a couple of my friends who still support me over the years and stuff. But when I did it, I absolutely loved it, and I'm glad people really enjoyed it.
Man, it's amazing what a good woman will do for you. Just really,
Yeah.
like for real. Like, there's a lot of guys that are just out there, kind of just piddle farting along, just barely making ends meet, just kind of doing what they're doing, maybe playing some video games. They got dreams, but once you get a woman in the picture that's really pushing you and supporting you, and you want to impress her, you want to show her that you can be the man that you claim to want to be. If I'm totally crazy here, let me know, but it's just kind of, it seems like there's I see the story kind of happen every so often where dudes get a good girl and they're just like, yes, I got to make sure I keep this one, and I'm gonna do everything I can to show her that I can make her proud, that kind of thing. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's cool as shit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, she knew my skill more than anybody, and like I said, so for her to see it and for not anybody else to see it, she kind of pushed me, along with some friends, like I said, that have been supporting me for a long time. Like I said, they knew all about it. I did nothing with it, so they pushed me. So yeah, I get completely where you're coming from.
Now, that first time that you actually got on stage in front of a crowd, kind of walk us through that moment. Like I mentioned earlier, did you feel nervous in front of all those people, not knowing really what to expect?
He was nervous, but on the surface, he looked calmed and ready to drop bombs.
Oh, my palms were definitely sweating.
Yeah,
There you go.
His knees were weak.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was horrified. So it's different because you usually know who your opponent is sometimes up to a month before the battle.
Oh,
Right.
see, now I didn't know that. I always
Yeah.
assumed during those things, you kind of just had to come up with shit right there. But
that's probably just a standard for me because I'm a rookie. Because some battles do happen with 3 days prep. Some battles happen with no prep.
so there is
just to
some. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. There is some prep though. It's not all completely 100% off the cuff. Some of it is, but it's kind of a mixture. Is that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a mixture. Some people can, like I said, the on the spot ones that happen on a day, they can do everything off the top. But most battles you will have at least some prep time because not everybody can do that. Like for me, I can freestyle just enough to defend myself if they say something a little rough, but I rely a lot on my written.
Okay, cool.
Right.
I've always seen them and I've been impressed by it, but it's like I didn't know the back end of things. I didn't know.
So now that you've gotten a couple of rap battles under your belt, where do you see yourself moving forward with this? Is this something that you really want to actively pursue, or is this more of a hobby for you? Kind of give us an idea where you're at with it and where you want to go.
I'm sorry. Absolutely. It's something I want to pursue. Like I said, I've done it for a long time now. I've had some offers across the country here and there to go and battle for their leagues over there. Nothing too major yet. A couple semi-major leagues. There's different rankings all over the United States for this stuff.
Right.
Just a few invites across here. I like to have the time to actually, go to some of these different states and perform for their leagues, just to kind of help get my name out there. And of course, just to keep battling. Like I said, I've had about 5 battles. I'm still learning. I still got a lot to learn.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, just kind of get myself out there and traveling, hopefully doing it for more people.
Now, you mentioned something earlier about going to Atlanta, so I'm assuming that you're in the Georgia state. Is that correct? Or
Yeah.
You are.
I'm from. I'm in between I'm between Lawrenceville and Athens. I'm not too close to Atlanta, so when I do go to Atlanta, I got to travel. Small town, nothing too close.
Dude,
Gotcha.
Dude, if you make it up Nashville area, let us know. We'll come check you out.
Yeah, definitely.
We live pretty close to Nashville.
Oh yeah, like I said, I actually I go up there a lot. Actually, I'll probably go up there a couple times a year. I said so. I love to make a vacation out and go to a league up there and battle.
Yeah.
So if I ever do, I'll let you know for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, definitely do that. It'd be kind of weird to hear a rap battle and the country music's capital of the world.
Honestly, it's something I've never participated. I'm not participated in, but attended. I've seen a lot of shows and concerts and things like that. I love music concerts, But to see a rap battle, that would be a pretty cool experience.
That would be a first on my list.
Yeah,
I've never,
absolutely.
I mean, I've been to, I've seen some rappers before in my past, but never actual rap battles.
Right.
So kind of shifting gears a little bit, I kind of want to kind of pick your brain on this and just kind of get your thoughts on the difference between labels and independent artists. We're seeing a huge uprise, in my opinion, of Ryan Upchurch and Dax and I'm trying to think of who, Tom McDonald and who was the other one? Hobson. So you're seeing a rise of the independent artist, and especially with Tom McDonald discussing or rapping a lot of the social issues. What do you think of the independents that are coming up and becoming as big, if not bigger, than some of your label artists here lately?
I definitely support the independent artists a lot more than I do the label artists.
Right.
Strictly because basically you just get to keep all that money that you make.
Right.
Like I said, these artists work hard for the craft that they put into their music, and the fact that you can remain independent and not have these ghostwriters and stuff like that. Like I said, it says a lot to those artists. Like I said, and the fact that they get to keep their independency and not have someone over the shoulder telling them what to do all the time is fantastic. But like I said, sometimes the topics that they may discuss may not be particularly my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I may not always agree with how they go about certain things that they may say in their songs.
Right.
I think the controversy and the stuff that they may be able to say due to the fact that they are independent help them get a lot farther than, as opposed to if they were signed to a label.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely true. We've seen a lot of that with Tom McDonald here lately. Just off of his last probably 5 or 6 songs that he's done that have been very controversial. And you're right. If he was signed with the label, he would not be able to, rap about those subjects. But I think it also kind of, Tom McDonald, Dax, and Upchurch, and all these other ones have kind of paved a way for the independent artists. But it also, I think it's really starting to show a lot of people that are coming up through that genre that, hey, you don't have to be assigned by a label to really gain the followers and, get the income that some of them that are making right now. Would you rather be independent, or if a label did come to you with a contract, would you take a contract with a label?
I'd probably feel more proud of my career knowing that I basically became my own LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, so I was my own business. I made a name out of myself, and kind of did it all by myself. Not to say that I won't necessarily need help along the way, because there are going to be people involved that help me find the way. Because like I said, I'm still a rookie. I don't know the exact route to take as far as battle rap goes. So I'm going to need help with that. As far as the music and stuff, I got a project in the works now. Like I said, I definitely needed help with that. So like I said, there's going to be people that help, but as far as remaining independent and having someone over my shoulder telling me what to do, as far as what I need to make with my music and to change who I am as a person, I won't have it. So I'd much rather remain independent if I had the choice. So I said, in respect to the world, the people that do, because like I said, it's a great thing for themselves. Like I said, to turn into your own LLC would be amazing.
Yeah, there's something to be said about actually maintaining full creative control over your work.
Oh, absolutely.
And, the more hands you have in the pot, and the more people you have trying to influence and market testing and all that bull crap that goes along with it, it's like it kind of dilutes the final product. And like most of the best music I found tends to be independents or people who aren't tied to a label. That make music for maybe niche audiences who don't, necessarily fit the mold of the overall market, if you will, the most popular. I've never been into most popular people or most popular music. Pop music in general, I can't stand it. So it tends, like I said, it's just there's something to be said about that ability to have complete creative control all the time and not be told what you can and what you can't talk about or sing about.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I've I've noticed over the last 5 years that my playlist has now gone from, people such as Eminem, Jay-Z, and, Tupac and Snoop and all that. I have found that my music in the hip hop is starting to shift over to independent artists.
Right.
I listen to a lot of Upchurch, a lot of Tom McDonald, Dax, Hobson, Jelly Roll, Crypt. I mean, Knox Hill's another one. So to me, I have found that when you're not tied or bound to a label, like you said, you can be more creative. Yeah. So I've enjoyed the fact that these guys can really express themselves without having to be bound to a label. And, just seeing that really come up the way that it has, it almost seems like nothing can slow that down right now, and you kind of have to wonder at times if the labels are starting to get just a little scared.
Yeah, I would say maybe a little bit.
I mean, that's a good thing though. It's just, maybe it's going to have to force them to look at their approach of how they're treating their artist or keeping them from being who they are, or release the music that they want to release. So
reevaluate the value they actually add to the artist and the.
Yeah, I would agree.
For sure.
So when you were doing the TikTok stuff, right? So, and for me, I just get on there to watch videos. I'm not a person to post any videos myself, but rather kind of more of a observer than anything else. And so when I'm watching this and I'm hearing you flow, now is this something you can do on the spot? Like if you could do something on the show right now, could you actually do a rhyme scheme, or is this something that you would have to prep for?
It depends on the subject, really. Like I said, I'm used to writing really competitive, so if you wanted to hear something that I would say competitively, I could, if you wanted to see an example, I could. But if you wanted to give me like a certain subject to rap about, I might have a little trouble, but it depends. Like I said, you give me an example.
You know what we need to do? We need to get him to do like an opening intro for us.
An opening intro?
Or maybe even a closing intro. Instead of the same intro we've had for the last 5 years, have him do a rhyme scheme that involve our names in the show. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
We'll have to talk money now. How much is that worth to you?
Well, it's something different.
You probably got to get it while it's cheap right now.
No, we're willing to pay, but I just think that I just when I talk to people that are creative like this, it does get the gears turning a little bit.
And we are independent, obviously, and we like to support other independent. I mean, I would imagine that you get a lot. I would think you would get a lot of the same stuff that we get. We get people that watch our show and they're like, "Man, you guys are awesome. How come you're not bigger?" Yeah. I'm like, I mean, we're trying. You gotta share. Do you get that? Have you? I mean, that was my initial reaction when I saw your stuff. I'm like, hey, this guy's fucking good. And I click over and I'm like, where's all his followers? This dude should be way bigger than this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure you feel the exact same way. Like I said, you feel like you'll be doing it for a while. And like I said, you'll get those comments here and there that are like, man, like, why am I just now hearing of you? I have people apologize for like, man, I'm so sorry it took so long for us to hear you. Yeah. I'll be like, so you'll get those comments and you're like, it actually makes you feel good because at least some people out there feel like, you should be bigger than where you are.
Yeah, right.
I would think that would want to push you too as well.
Absolutely. So, and just, I'm sure it's the same with y'all. When people say that kind of stuff to y'all, you're like, people have faith in us. They said, I'm going to use that as motivation to keep going. So I said, it's great. It's great to have support,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just, when we do read those comments, we've had that discussion. Like, why is it we can't get over this hump? And, but we're constantly brainstorming. And, Daniel and I have been doing this. I've been doing the show for about 4 years. Daniel's been doing it for 5. And you wouldn't think 5 years is a long time. But then when you go back and look at our library of videos, we've got over 400 videos, and the amount of time that we've spent in equipment and the studio and just going off and doing skits. And, I think for me, the reasons why we've gone so long is because we actually enjoy what we do.
Right.
And, whether or not we got paid for it, yes, we would love to be paid for it, but we just have fun doing it. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're able to put out the quality and the content that we are. But then, we have to kind of lean on the audience to share the content and so forth. And, but, every once in a while you get that one video, like with you, that does very well, I guess because social media is so big now, it's, we're
there's
just a little fish in a big pond.
A lot of people vying for attention, and I almost wonder if there's got to be some kind of a shift in the mindset of the population overall, insofar as you kind of get used to things being a certain way. You got a bunch of labeled artists, big people. You follow the popular trends, but you are used to getting content for free. So it's like at some point, I think there's going to have to be a societal shift towards supporting those independent artists, those lesser known names, the ones that, those gems, in the rough,
Oh, yeah.
And once people stop getting, or rather lose the mindset of getting everything for free on the internet.
Yeah.
and actually putting their money where they're, supporting people that they actually enjoy. I think that's going to totally shift the entire paradigm of who rises to the top. You're going to see some supreme skill, I think, make it real well. I hope. I hope anyway. But
for sure,
not going to pretend there was a question in there or anything. Just
no. I mean, I agree completely. Like I said, it's going to have a huge shift once people see that there can be actual art in it when you remove the filter. So I agree completely with what you say.
Right on. So what's next for you coming up?
Like I said, I got let me see. I've got a couple songs in the work right now. I'm debating on whether or not I want to release them individually or put them all into a project. And I've got a battle coming up in about a month or two. Like I said, that I'm gonna start promoting here soon. So not too much. Like I said, I'm gonna focus mainly on this battle stuff for now and keep recording songs. Like I said, and see where it takes me. I said I got a lot of stuff I'm learning right now, so hopefully people will be willing to join the journey and see how I'm learning and rising and learning what the next steps are.
Definitely keep that up, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, whenever you decide to release those songs or individually, let us know, and we'll actually react to one of your songs, and then maybe have you come on afterwards and kind of discuss the breakdown lyrically, and of course obviously talk about what you're discussing in your song. And it's something I don't see right now that a lot of people on the internet are doing, is that they're actually interviewing the people that they've reacted to. It's something you're not seeing right now, and I would love to be able to do that and get other artists on and have their music played, and then actually have a discussion with them talking about their music, because you see a lot of these reactors who react to the videos, but they don't necessarily talk to the artists themselves.
That would be something.
So,
all right.
Hey, you never know. We could change that trend. It's just part of being creative. You just never know. So,
well, why don't you tell folks where they can go to find your content if they're interested?
Well, I'll be on all social media at Ill Whisper. Like I said, pretty much any website, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, all of the above. Just at Ill Whisper. That's where you'll find me at. I'll be on Battle Rap Society in Atlanta.
Thank you for having the same handle for all socials. I appreciate that so much.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I was thorough looking for the name in the first place. So.
Good. Yeah. Branding genius in the making right here.
There you go. Well, you kind of have to.
For sure.
All right. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Looking forward to seeing new stuff coming from you in the future. Yeah. And I'm glad you decided to come on and talk with us today. It's really cool getting to know you, and I look forward to having future conversations with you.
Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad you guys had me, and I'll be watching future shows. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Love having you on.